Sven Jungbeck again, and today I'm going to show you how Django Reinhardt played the blues. And if you want to listen to a very good example for that, then it's the blues form within the song Viper's Dream. And this is how in the 30s you played the blues actually. So first of all, let's take a look what a C blues would look like if we played in a normal jazz or blues context. Then we would probably have like 4 bars of C dominant 7. Then we would go to F dominant 7 and back to C dominant 7. And maybe we would end with G dominant 7, F dominant 7 and C, and again G. Only with 3 chords. Well, this is a very common form that you probably know actually. And this would be a 7-9 voicing. You can play it with every dominant 7 voicing, also with the bar chord, whatever. But now, when we look to the music of Django Reinhardt, or better say to the music of the 30s, the blues in a swing context was, you know, a bit varied, and especially concerning the changes. And the first chord that we would change is, instead of 4 bars of C dominant 7, we would play 4 different chords. But I will start with the most common thing. First of all, let's just play 2 different chords. Then we would start with C6-9 instead of C dominant 7. And in the last bar of the 4 bars, we will change to C dominant 7 as a secondary dominant chord for F. Then it would be like this. Now the change. Now F dominant 7 and again C dominant 7 or C6-9 even. And then in the end, instead of playing G dominant 7 and F dominant 7, we would play a 2-5 D minor 7 and G dominant 7 13 with the flat 9 in the bass, or you can also call that one a G sharp dim chord with G sharp, F, B and E. Well, the D minor 7, I think you probably know that. It's the common jazz voicing with root, third, 7 and third again. Well, now the form looks like that, and this is already you know, going in the right direction. We start with C6-9. Now C dominant 7, F dominant 7, and again C6-9. And then we got the 2-5, and again C6-9, and maybe one time G dominant 7 in the end. That would be pretty easy. Next thing to do to get it more into the style of the 30s is the fall chord. The F is also played not as a dominant 7 chord, but as a F6-9 chord. If you don't know that voicing, it's pretty tricky as I played it here. My middle finger is playing G and C at the same time, while the first finger is playing E and A at the same time, and the ring finger is playing D and G. So we got 5th, root, 3rd, 6, 9, and again the 5th. So now, when I also play F6-9 instead of F dominant 7, now it almost sounds like a swing classic. And that's actually what's happening. The blues of the 30s, when you only play the chords, doesn't sound so much like the blues. It sounds more like a swing classic, only using the 12 bars of the blues form. And that's where we're heading for. Now I will replace C through 7 through C6-9 and F dominant 7 through F6-9. And then in the end we will have the 2-5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds very good, huh? Instead of moving to the 8th position, you can go from C6-9, from C dominant 7-9 to F6 like here. My thumb is playing F, the middle finger is playing C, F, A and D. And you can also play that one, if you can do it, like this. Then the middle finger is playing 2 notes, C and F. The first finger is playing the 3rd, A, and the ring finger is playing D and G. Then we got F6-9 with root, 5th, root, 3rd, 6 and 9. So now when we move back to C after the F6-9, before we have the 2-5, there is another bar of C, and we play C-sharp dim here, which is a secondary dominant leading to D minor. It's a substitution for A dominant 7 flat 9. If we got the A in the bass, we got A dominant 7 flat 9 with A, C sharp, G, B flat, and the B flat would be the flat 9 of A, and all the other notes perfectly fit the A dominant 7 chord. C sharp would be the 3rd, G would be the 7th, and E would be the 5th. And then we move to the D, G, and C. And in the end, we can play C, G. We could also play a turnaround for the last 2 bars with C, A, or C, and C sharp dim, D minor, and G7. Let's have a look. Now it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it already sounds like a blues from the 30s. So, but there are still different things we can do. I will teach you also the voicings up in the 8th position, but first let's do some final harmonic variations that are very typical for the style. And now here comes the big secret, and this is in bar 2. And even if the band is not doing it, you can do it in your solo, replacing the second bar of C6-9 with C dim. And this is a very old school sound. Sounds like that. C dim would be with C, F sharp, A, and E flat here in the 3rd, 2nd, and 4th fret. And then it sounds like that. And instead of playing 2 times F6, we will play 1 bar F6. And the second bar of F we will play F minor 6. This is also a thing that you can do always in the blues, even in a different form of blues, even if it's a roots blues or if it's a delta blues, you can always do that. The 2 bars of 4, you can substitute F with F minor. And even if the band is not doing it, this is something which is almost every time true. There are a lot of variations when the band is not doing it, you can still do it and it will sound great. Now, let's see. We have the first, now everything is completed. We move from C6-9 to C dim, back to C6-9 to C dominant 7-9. Then we move to F6, F minor 6, again C, C sharp dim, D minor, and G dominant 7, 13 with a flat 9 in the bass. So, and that sounds like that. Very cool, huh? So now if we move it up to the 8th position, this is another typical chord shape here that we use. And as a chord player, it's very good to think in positions, because in in particular in gypsy swing, or if you're a big band guitar player, but in gypsy swing it's even more obvious. Sometimes paces are really high, and you really have to play fast, and a lot of stamina is, you know, required. So it's very important to have the chords in the same area and to avoid difficult changes, like avoiding, you know, the change from the position with the thumb up here to a bar chord. That always takes time, no matter if you're a professional player or not. You know, as a professional player, of course, you can do it, but it takes, you know, it's exhausting actually to do it every chorus by chorus by chorus. So in the 8th fret up here, I would start with the chord that we had for F6-9. Up here I will play this voicing for C6-9. Then after that I will play the C dim chord like this. This is a very typical dim voicing from the E string. The middle finger is playing C, the A string is muted, then there is a bar chord with the index from A to F sharp, and between the A and the F sharp the ring finger is playing E flat. So we got. Now for the C dominant 7, I could play the very normal voicing. Some players like to play the 5th with the ring finger. And now here is a very obvious question, why not use the bar chord? It's almost the same notes. So if you never have played this chord, it will be very, very difficult. And don't get confused, because it's always when you learn new chords, they are difficult. No matter how good you are, whenever you learn something, an absolutely new chord, it will be difficult. And the gypsy voicings in particular are very difficult in the beginning. But something still is gained, because you avoid the high C, the octave of the C is very dominant. It's really disturbing somehow the harmonic movement. And it's a note that you don't really need here. And the other thing is, what I told you before, that you have to switch from that position to that position. And if you can do it, even if it sounds now very unlikely, that chord will be easier than using the bar chord. But it has the same notes: C, G, B flat, E, G, C, G, B flat, E, G. Only the bar chord has the C, which we don't want to hear in our voicing in gypsy swing. Now the first 4 bars of the blues would sound like that. Now we switch to F. And the F we can also play like I did in the beginning. We could use this voicing, and then for F minor 6, switch to that voicing. Only 3 notes. I like that voicing very much. It's only F, D string is muted. Then we got the D in the 7th fret on the G string and A flat. And of course back to C. And C dim. C sharp dim would be the same as C dim, only 1 fret higher. And then we would play the 2-5 like D minor 7, the very normal voicing that you probably know. 10th fret with the middle finger through, D, A string is muted. And then the ring finger is playing C, F and A. And G dominant 7-9, the same way we played C dominant 7-9 up in the 10th fret. And then you got the turnaround. And that's it. So like this, it will sound like this. And there is one more final trick that I've stolen from the Django version of Viper's Dream. Instead of playing F6-9, Joseph Reinhardt plays F with the 3rd in the bass, like the triad here. This is like when you know the very common jazz, the very common F bar chord. It's this triad with C, A, and C, F, and A. Sorry. And then you put the A in the bass, 12th fret. And now what Joseph Reinhardt did is playing now the A flat, the minor 3rd of the bass, but still leaving the major 3rd up here. And it's more like a melodic movement, and it won't disturb anybody. You know, then it will sound like that. And then it goes from. He plays the C6-9, but not with the C in the bass, but only the middle 4 strings with G, C, E and A. This is a very nice movement. Then the whole form would be like this. So let me say in the end, one more thing that I was also talking about in the beginning. When you look at the harmonic stuff that's happening, of course this is also happening in the solo. And especially the change in bar 2 from the major chord to the dim chord is so typical for gypsy swing and for the music of the 30s. So what you can do is, even if the band is playing 4 bars of C, even if the band is playing 4 bars of C dominant 7 in the blues, or in any other kind of tune, I mean those long tonic or subtonic chords happen a lot in swing. And you can play the triad of C, and then let's pretend somebody's playing C6 for a very long time. You can still play something like... You can change to the C dim chord. It sounds very good, you know? It's a very nice change from C to C dim and back. This is very good. And as I told you before, on the subtonic chord, on the 4, when somebody's changing, you know, F and F minor can be played even if the band is not switching, even if the band is playing F. You can have some beautiful ideas with the third here, from A, which would be the major third, to A flat, which would be the minor third. You could play beautiful things like... This is very nice, yeah? And you can do it with a band, like... and so on. This is very nice, you know, because you have the flavor of the 30s then in your solo. And also when you, let's say, when you don't want to switch very soon to the C dim chord, when you want to play a long tonic, it's good to, you know, somehow not spoil the dominant 7, but play something in C major where you play the 6, like the A in your solo, and then when it comes to the last bar of C, then you will reveal somehow the dominant chord, you know, like... Then you go to the dominant chord, and this is very nice, like... like this. And that you should practice and put it in your solo, you know, and remember that it's always working. And I think I will soon release a new video concerning the jazz blues forms, because it's always the same, also even in the Parker blues, you know. It's only a gathering of harmonic things that happened in the solos before, and then rhythm section started to follow, and so somehow increase the blues form. It's not I think it's not that the form has been invented and then somebody started improvising on it. I think it's the other way around. I think people improvised on the blues and they did more and more harmonic stuff, and the bands just followed, so that, you know, what people did in their solo became standard for harmonic context. I think it's like that. So I hope you liked my video, and I hope that I could help you with that, and see you soon. Bye.